Your spouse has been keeping something from you. Perhaps you haven't noticed it. It usually starts as a question at the kitchen table, a comment during dinner. Sometimes it's just a nervous look. She may not even know why she's feeling anxious. She's watching the budget. She's watching the retirement accounts. She's doing the math in her head, and the numbers just aren't adding up. But she respects you too much to voice that anxiety she's feeling. Here's what she's thinking. We have a good income and live a comfortable lifestyle, but what happens when the paychecks stop? He's always been a good provider. He's built an impressive career and has the income to prove it. But here's what's keeping her up at night. She's been handling the household budget and knows how much it takes to maintain that lifestyle. She knows that the traditional retirement model usually it comes with a significant reduction in spendable income. She knows deep down that income and financial freedom are not the same thing. Unfortunately, he's been so focused on mastering his craft that he hasn't even considered what life outside the career looks like. If you're the man in that kitchen, this video is for you. And if you're the woman who sent him this video or who's watching it herself right now, I want you to know something. Your concerns are valid. My name is Paul Chinnis. Most people call me Papa Charlie. I'm a 63-year-old commercial airline captain, and I've spent the last several years building a financial education curriculum specifically for high-income professionals who've done everything right and still find themselves staring at the gap between where they are and where they need to be before the paycheck stops. And at some point, the paycheck always stops. The Bible says in Job 12:12, with the aged is wisdom, and with long life is understanding. I've been around the financial block a few times, and I can tell you this. That couple at the kitchen table aren't anxious because they did anything wrong. In fact, they did exactly what they were told to do by the financial experts. They're anxious because they got blindsided by a reality they never saw coming. I know what it feels like to be blindsided. On September 3rd, 2001, I began living my childhood dream, a dream that was nearly 3 decades in the making. It was my first day as an airline pilot. A week later, that dream turned into a nightmare as I watched the events of 9/11 unfold on CNN. Less than 2 weeks into my airline career, I was furloughed. Without warning, the career I had built my entire identity around was gone before it even started. I had no backup plan, just silence where the future used to be. It was a struggle, but my family and I came through it, having learned a valuable lesson. Always be prepared for the unexpected. By the time I was furloughed for the second time in 2008, things were different. Same storm, completely different outcome. Because by that time, I had built a system that worked without the paycheck. That was my financial flight plan. Having experienced it myself, I built a system to help my fellow pilots. But somewhere along the way, I discovered that layoffs, furloughs, and forced retirements are not just a pilot problem. I've seen the same scenario play out for surgeons, air traffic controllers, attorneys, engineers, corporate executives, professionals who spent decades mastering their craft, building an impressive income, and arriving at the exit door with no system waiting on the other side. The professions are numerous, but the problem is the same. If you earn a high income and don't have an automated income generation system that works as hard as you do, this is for you. Here's the first oversight, and it's the one that sets up all the others. Most high-income professionals have been taught, either directly or by example, that income is the scoreboard. The higher the salary, the better you're doing. The bigger the paycheck, the closer you are to winning. That scoreboard only tells you half the story. God's command to mankind in Genesis 1:28 says, "Be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth, and subdue it." Income is what you receive by being productive, but productivity without multiplication doesn't make you free. Multiplication comes from putting your income to work. Here's the number that actually matters. How much income do your assets generate on a regular basis, whether you show up or not? This is not your 401k balance or your net worth. This is the amount that flows into your account while you're on the beach in the Caribbean or while you sleep. For most high income professionals, that number is zero or close to it. That's not a judgment. That's an oversight. You've been focused on the wrong scoreboard your entire career because nobody showed you the right one. The right scoreboard measures asset income against living expenses. When asset income exceeds what it costs to maintain your lifestyle, you're financially free. And when the paychecks stop, that's the only number that matters. The second oversight follows directly from the first. If income is the wrong scoreboard, then the system built around income is the wrong game. And most high income professionals have been playing that game their entire careers without questioning it. The traditional retirement model has three basic instructions. Maximize your salary. Save in a tax-advantaged retirement plan like a 401k or IRA. Then retire on less income than when you were working. That model was not designed to benefit you. It was designed to benefit Wall Street and the United States government. Here's what your spouse already realizes. That model almost always comes with a significant reduction in spendable income the moment the paychecks stop. The lifestyle you built on a high income does not automatically survive the transition to a fixed withdrawal rate. Furthermore, the paycheck stops right about the time healthcare expenses go sky high. And while you saved a bit in taxes by contributing to a 401k, fees and inflation continue to take a significant bite out of that return, so that money doesn't go nearly as far as it used to. That's part of what's keeping her up at night. The traditional model is not malicious, it's simply incomplete. It was built for the average wage earner. You are not the average wage earner. Every high income professional has a countdown clock. Most just don't hear it ticking. For pilots, it's age 65. Federal law, no exceptions. For surgeons, it's the moment their hands are no longer steady enough to operate. For attorneys, it's the day the firm decides they want younger partners at the table. For corporate executives, it's the restructuring nobody saw coming. The exit is not optional. The only question is whether you see it coming or get blindsided by it. As I mentioned before, I know what it feels like to be blindsided, having been furloughed twice. That experience taught me something I want to save you from learning the hard way. The time to build a system that works without your paycheck is not the year before you need it. It's 10 years before you need it. Better yet, 20. The professional who starts building their asset column while their income is still strong and their time horizon long arrives at their destination with options. The ones who keep telling themselves they have time are the ones who get blindsided. High income has a side effect nobody warns you about. The more you earn, the more your lifestyle expands to meet it. A bigger house, nicer cars, vacations that match the income level. None of those things are wrong. You've earned them. But over time, they create a structure that requires the paycheck to hold it all together. And when the paycheck stops, the structure usually doesn't downsize gracefully. It collapses. Your spouse knows exactly what it costs to maintain your lifestyle every month. She's been managing that number for years. And she's quietly doing the mental math on what happens when that income changes. The question is not whether you should enjoy the fruits of your labor. The question is whether you've built an asset column strong enough to sustain the lifestyle so you can stop laboring and start living. Most high-income professionals don't ask that question until it's too late to do anything about it. There's a reason the most successful athletes have coaches. Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, and Muhammad Ali may have been the greatest at their respective games, yet they knew that they couldn't see the entire playing field from their own vantage point. They relied on someone else to guide them strategically while they focused on what they do best: execution. All top performers know that figuring it out on your own takes time you don't have and costs money you can't afford to lose. Every mistake made without a mentor is a tuition payment to the school of hard knocks, and that school charges full price every single time. I spent my first 20 years of entrepreneurship making those tuition payments, and those payments didn't just cost me financially, they cost me in time. time I can never get back. When I finally found a mentor who had already built what I was trying to build, everything changed. He had already made the mistakes I hadn't made yet and could show me where the landmines were. That's what a proven playbook does. It collapses the timeline between where you are and where you want to go before the game clock runs out. So here's where we stand. You now know the 5 oversights that blindside high income professionals. And if you recognized yourself in any of them, I want you to understand something important. That recognition is not a verdict, it's a turning point. The man who sees the blind side coming is no longer blindsided. He's informed. And an informed man with a proven playbook is one of the most dangerous things in the world to a problem that has been quietly growing in the background of his success. Think about the woman at that kitchen table. She's been carrying this anxiety alone because she respects you too much to voice it. She's been hoping you would see what she sees. She's been waiting for you to walk in with a plan. This is that moment. You were shown a game plan that was designed for the average man, and you ran with it as hard as anyone could. But now you've seen the right playbook. You hear the sound of the ticking clock. You understand what it means to build a system that works while you sleep. The only question is, what will you do with that knowledge? The hero in this scenario is not the man who never had a blind spot. It's the man who acknowledged it, addressed it, and decided he would not be denied. I know what that decision feels like. I've made it more than once. The first step is simple. Download Papa Charlie's personal financial statement. It's free. It takes about 15 minutes to complete, and it will show you exactly where you stand today in black and white, no guessing. The link is in the description below. If you want a step-by-step walkthrough of how to complete it, I covered the entire process in last week's video, Papa Charlie's Playbook for Financial Freedom. You'll find that link in the description as well. Watch it, print the statement, and fill it in with real numbers. That single exercise will tell you more about your financial position than anything your 401k statement has ever shown you. And when you're ready to take the next step, Covenant Wealth Academy's Financial Stewardship Curriculum is where we go to work together. Both links are in the description. Start there. I'm Papa Charlie. Class dismissed.